David King is with me, the best analyst in football. We're allowed to call him Kingy now because Fox Footy have backtracked on the nickname ban. Kingy, what's your first thoughts?
David King.
Morning, Michael. My first thoughts were there was only one team arrive at Marvel last night. I think the Giants spent the week looking back at what they did in the third quarter against Sydney last week, how brilliant they were, and got consumed with the past rather than what was right in front of them. They were uncompetitive in the contest, and I'm only just doing it to halftime. The game was over at halftime, so plus 32 contested possessions at halftime is a mauling, and they just weren't ready to compete. And it was the best of the Dogs that just ran riot. I haven't seen Poulter play that well for the Dogs. He was terrific. Bontempelli had a slow start but got rolling. Libba was there, and it was obvious what was happening forward of the ball. Norton and Darcy have just become the best 1-2 punch in the game right now. It's just a matter of whether they can get themselves into a final series now. Who knows? It does open up for them. Next couple of weeks they should win, and then they got Fremantle at Marvel for all the chocolates in the last home and away game for them for the year. So it should be a massive finish to the season for the Dogs.
Be a waste if they didn't, wouldn't it? When you see them play like that.
It'll be a waste for someone.
Yeah, but particularly them when you've got this many weapons. 20 marks inside forward 50. Thought the use of English was pretty smart. He took 5 marks inside forward 50 last night. So he played seriously well. So that's another thing. Gee, if English is in this sort of mood, not often in that sort of mood, but when he is, look out, just because how mobile he is and how good he was overhead last night. So that was a good tactic that they used, the one that they can use ongoing. But yeah, just the power of this midfield is extraordinary. And then I don't know how to stop Sam Darcy. I don't know what this is going to look like.
He made Taylor look small.
So that's the best player you could handpick to play on him. So if you could handpick any player in the comp, who can play on? Who would you pick? Well, you pick Taylor, and you're right. He made him. He did an interview with Nick Revolt in the pre-game, Norton and Darcy, and made Nick Revolt look like a midfielder. Like, it's just it's frightening. And then the other factor that you've got is that the umpires are just going to look after him like you wouldn't believe. So Darcy's
it's just so obvious, though, isn't it?
But there's some that I don't know. This is one of the great frustrations that I have is that coaches mention, my players after that North Melbourne game, Sam Darcy's not getting any free kicks. The overcorrection to those comments from coaches, same with Matt Rao, and I put this in the gun a few weeks ago, is just not right. They shouldn't have this much influence. There's some free kicks that Darcy is getting, another 4 last night, that shouldn't be free kicks. So what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do with him when the non-controlling umpire just is willing to pay free kicks for very minor or zero indiscretions? There was one on Taylor last night that had to be seen to be believed. So that's going to be a problem for the opposition, a real problem. How do you stop him?
Well, I like it. I like the fact the umpires.
You like that?
Because I want the best players at stoppage and in the forward. I want them to have access to the footy. I want the game to flourish. I want highlights. I want reasons kids want to come to the footy. They don't want to come and see guys being scragged and chopped and checked and
But he's
all
very
those sorts
smart.
of things.
He's got a way that he can contort his body, which makes it look like there's a lot more contact than there is.
Yeah,
and we don't want to go to the footy so the umpires blow their whistle and a guy flailing and getting a free kick.
No, but I want him to have an opportunity at the footy like every other player.
Well, he's always going to get that.
Yeah, and this is the beauty of having a guy this big. You can't say, no, because he's got assets that others don't have. You're now not allowed to do this.
No, but
you've got to let him have an opportunity at the ball.
So pay them to the others that aren't as big. Just because he's big, it doesn't mean that he deserves more free kicks than others.
But it is more obvious, though, isn't it? Well, when they chop his arms because he's so tall, it's hard to miss.
Yeah, no, some that were there, but there's one in particular. I'm thinking second quarter, it might have been third quarter, which is just not a free kick. So don't look for things that aren't there because a coach says that he's getting poorly treated. So we'll have a watch on it. 30 free kicks for the year. What that is going to look like in the lead up to the final series and during the finals. If they're not there, please don't pay them.
But if they are, pay them.
Yeah, which they are. And they're going overs on what it should be. But anyway, it's a great problem for the Western. Well, it's not a problem. It's a great asset the Western Bulldogs have got. And if you're not maximising this guy for the next 5 years and winning multiple premierships with him, I don't know what you're doing.
Well, not everyone can win multiple premiership. We can't just.
Well, you
hand them
can. You can when you're this dominant. You can. And when you've
Well, the
got as much
discussion-
assets around him, you can.
Yeah,
And you should.
Well, the discussion to me has been always about their bottom six, and I would have had Poulter in their bottom six coming into last night. So for him to have that first quarter like he did is something that was quite refreshing. Baker looked invested in just the hunt, the chase and tackling, and I would say he's a bottom sixer. Their defence wasn't really under much pressure last night. 18 inside 50s for the first half for the Giants. They really could set up in a patient, organised manner. So it wasn't the toughest test for that back six. So I think we saw the Dogs at their best, playing the way they want to play more often than not. Did they put enough time into Bontempelli?
Well, no. The one where he's just standing off the back of the front of the stoppage and then does the 1-2 hook up and then just delivers it inside 50. No, they don't, but no one does.
No.
So it's hard to be critical of the Giants because you see Nick Dacos running around and no one goes on him. You see every midfielder, Noah Anderson running around and no one plays on him. So this is just what teams do. You see Nasai Wanganeen-Miller running around, no one goes anywhere near him. And you think if anyone's going to go near someone, it would be him for the Saints. Shut him down, they can't win, but no one does. So it's hard to be critical of Adam Kingsley when no one else is doing it.
No, I'm not critical of necessarily Adam Kingsley, but it's hardly a shock that at half-time Bonds had 15 and 9 score involvements. And you go, gee, he's been pretty good again.
Yeah.
It was not going to... I mean, your forward scout would be saying, I'm pretty sure we knew about this guy, right?
You reckon?
Yeah. So I'm not critical of them not doing it. I just don't understand where the game is right now with our mids are just going to go head-to-head with yours. I don't think the Giants mids, their Giants mids get bashed by the Dogs each and every time they play them. The last 6 times, they've been smacked at clearance and smacked at contest. The numbers last night, even the coach in the post-match, he couldn't believe the contested ball number was north of 50.
Yeah.
They had 50 more contested possessions than them. I can't remember seeing a number like that. 50.
They probably need a new ruckman, I reckon, the Giants. Briggsy battles, but he just doesn't have the height and the size and the mobility around the ground. So, look, I'm not a big ruck guy, but I think you need
You are
someone
a big
who's...
ruck guy. You talk more about rucks than any
No,
other
I just
position.
think you need someone when it... Well, it was that obvious last night that you need probably someone just, I don't know, 8 centimetres taller and that can move around the ground a little bit better.
I think the
He's
rules
about
are gonna,
Bont size.
the rules are going to
Briggsy's
take
about
us.
the same size as Bont.
Yeah, doesn't kick it as well as Bont. I think the rules are going to take us away from ruckman too, with the last touch out of bounds. I think that's going to happen next year. Last disposal out of bounds. The rucks are going to be. It's going to be fascinating to see what the competition does. Okay. You don't want 2 big lumberers on your list. You're going to need some athletic runners. It may even go back to the extra midfielder style,
Like the Josh Weddle style of ruck.
Weddle, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, Weddle's been a phenomenon as an extra mid, really, as a ruckman extra mid, and even the use of Nash. This is why this is a discussion for next year. But in terms of last night, does it say more about the Dogs or the Giants?
Well, it doesn't surprise me with the Dogs. So this is just what they're capable of with the assets that they've got. So probably the Giants. Probably the Giants. I mean, every good team, to use Damien Hardwick's method, has probably had a wake-up call. So this might be theirs, but it's late. It's late in the season to get one like this, to get a mauling like this.
Yeah, again, their ball movement, real problem. And you laughed at me the last few
playing
weeks.
James.
I saw our little friend last night. I said, "You've been pretty quiet tonight, haven't you?" He wasn't tweeting anything last night. Jacob, very very nice. But they can have their game in terms of the counterpunch game taken off them because they are so aggressive in the corridor, and it's usually Callahan that rolls back. Yeah, against the really good teams, it's just a fascination to watch. And if they drop into the long down the line game too easily for me. I just think the coach needs to drive this risk taking. Let's go. If this is who we are, we're gonna go. And they just seem to accept that that's been taken off them too readily for me.
And Hogan's a problem as well. Adam Kingsley saying he might not get up this week. He's sore and looks sore. Whenever you get the players wearing grass cats, so those type of boots, there's a bit of an issue. So he's had the grass cats on, just a disaster. They're shocking, those boots. I think Adam Simpson called them the career savers.
The career savers.
A few weeks ago.
Well, the career savers is there, and then you've got the captain sitting in the stands. This is where it really hurts you. And the domino effect of Stringer getting a higher ranked opponent, it means he's not the influence that he's been, and he kicks the one. Really uneventful day for him. So I think it's a real head scratcher for the Giants, because if you take away the third quarter of last week, how are they going? Like, how do they look? And just sort of don't worry about the wins and losses as much. How are they actually playing? And we had this discussion in the back half of last year when they lit up and were winning games, but their profile sort of said they can't win it, and they nearly got there.
Mm.
They should have beaten Brisbane, they should have beaten Sydney, but they in the end didn't. I just don't know. I just don't know where I'm at with this group. Have they missed their opportunity? Because quite a few of them are aging now.
Yeah.
And if you turn the page on a couple of them, they shallow out pretty quick. So I'm just worried that they might have missed their chance.
You can have your say, 1300 736 736. So it's got a little bit of audio here. I got no idea what this is. It's just on my screen, so I'm going to play it. Here it is.
Getting to the back position is critical for Darcy then to come back at the ball like that.
I'm tempted to send that to the lab. You know where I'm heading. Could be a 3.9 metre grab, that one. I work with it. We don't fight these things. We have a laugh. Cornsey. That's what we do on Fox. We have a laugh. We have a good time.
Yeah.
It's manufactured.
You call each other by your very
Heyman.
formal first names for a week, and then you change your mind
mix it
and
up.
go back
and
to
you blokes
the
talk about it for 2 weeks.
Okay. This is in the gun last week.
Who'd you put in last week?
Well, I had Miles Bergman. See, his face is just there on my little grays.com.
Yeah, in the middle there.
Gavel, and he...
How'd he start?
Well, he kicked the ball the wrong way. 55 metres. Never seen anything like it in my life. Gee, he was switched on, wasn't he? And now he's out for the year. He's got a sore shoulder. He's done.
I thought of that straight away.
Might be.
I thought, is there a way you can put yourself further in the gun than what he has?
Might be my most famous scout in the gun. It's
Really?
just, the impact that in the gun can have.
Oh, yeah, mate. Don't muck around at Grays Online.
Finished his season.
Don't muck around.
You had the Sydney skipper in the gun.
Yeah, how'd that go? Did you see Jakey Stringer rip him to shreds? I think we got 2 wickets last week. We got more wickets than Cam Green's got in 12 months.
Victim. In the gun is for Grays.com, Australia's leading online auction marketplace, of course. This week, I am putting Gold Coast in the gun, not for the reasons that you think, but for the reason that they have selected Tuke Miller with a 2-week hammy against Richmond. Don't play Tuke Miller. Dude, for goodness sake, do not play him. So
hang on.
You're
getting into medical territory?
Yes, I am. And unashamedly so. So they've named him. I cannot for the life of me believe that he will be running out there when they take on Richmond on Saturday. But he's been named. They are right now in the gun, and they should absolutely reconsider putting one of their most important players out on the park after a 2-week hammy against Richmond. So, to Gold Coast, their medical department, Tuke Miller for putting his hand up. Go on, you're in the gun.
Gee, I really like where you're going here now.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I like when you take on a whole footy club.
Don't play him. Why would you play him?
Well, they may not. They may not play him. They may just be naming
They wouldn't
him.
want to.
Which is what I'm hoping my man who is in the gun for Grays Online is Sam Mitchell. I'm hoping there's a laid out. There's no possible way. At round 21, he could be saying, no, now we're going to go with 4 tools. No way. There must be a laid out. I'm missing something.
There's not going to be I'm telling you.
He wouldn't upset the apple cart like this.
I'm telling you there's not going to be a laid out. Now,
well, do you think it'll work, Cornsey?
They are thinking. They would,
yes or no?
They would
don't
be
give
thinking,
me. I don't want to care what they think. I want to know what
you know I wouldn't do it. You know I wouldn't. Okay, so
You wouldn't do 3.
exactly.
And now they're doing 4.
Well, I don't think Gunston is a big brute.
You
of a
know he
tall,
plays full forward.
but he's
Come
not.
on.
He's not a big brute.
He
of a
plays
tall,
the
and
position,
I don't
though.
think Kaushadere is a big, cumbersome, tall forward.
He's a tall.
below his knees.
That's
But
rubbish.
They are very worried about the second ruck and the dominance that the rucks have had against Hawthorn without
Now, this is my
Marbiol
point.
in the side.
This is what I'm
And
getting
they
at.
are going to manage it so that there will only ever be 3 talls on the field at the one time. There will
Yeah.
always be a tall on the bench. That's the way they're going to manage it.
Balls up written all over it. This,
Okay.
and I'll tell
We'll
you what they
see.
want to do. Yeah, we'll see. All right, we'll see. I'll tell you what we're going to see. This second ruck position that they're talking about, right? This magical second ruck position that's going to win them the game. I'll be tracking that to within an inch of its life tonight. Absolutely within. If this chol in the ruck thing doesn't produce goals, if it leaks goals, well, what are you doing wasting a selection on a second ruck? Mitchell's taken the biggest risk of the year from a coaching point of view at round 21. I like the fact he's had to do something. Their offense is not working, so he has to do something. But to go taller, is that really? When has that ever worked? Mitch, you are in the gun for Grays Online, my friend.
Okay. Grays.com, Australia's leading online auction marketplace. It's easy to
Hey,
buy and sell with Grays.
Yeah, this is why I love some of our texters and our ballers.
I haven't read one text this morning.
Not so much
apologies.
Nick. Nick's called me a moron, which is not ideal.
Okay.
It's a bad start
What
to my
else?
weekend.
What-
But I like the fact that people are coming. Why aren't the Dogs going after Jake Lever? 545. That's what I'm talking about. Lever in there makes a huge difference. That's the interceptor. So get fair income and get someone like Jordan Butts. Why wouldn't they go after Jordan Butts? This is the sensible people we've got out there, not the pickles.
We got Deck on the line. Kingy, you're kidding yourself, mate. Forwards have never been more looked after. Netball shooters have a bigger contact.
Yeah, well,
So
Deck, come on, man. That's just
Oh,
ridiculous.
no, it's not.
Yes, it is.
it was looking a fraction like netball
Now-
last night.
Kingy just invalidated his whole argument by saying, go and get my check for centre-half back. Hey, 3-2-1, do you know where he played all his footy before he got to Collingwood? Centre-half back, Pickle. Get yourself... He said go get Sam Frost or James Blank. Sam Frost or James Blank or my check. Who are you taking?
Sam Frost, James Blank on my check. Blank, if at full fitness, I would take as a
In
defender.
front of my check.
Yeah, as a defender. It's
My
been
check's played a stack of
Yeah,
defence.
it's been a long time since he's played in defence.
Oh, okay.
Well, why doesn't he do it now? I mean, they're a bit
Because
short. They're a bit short
because he's
down
been
back
so-
at the moment.
he's been
talking
so good up forward.
He's talking about playing McStay down
All
back
good
this
forwards.
week.
All good forwards can play centre half back. That's my point, and they can be interceptors. And most of the guns in our competition started as centre half forwards before they went back. I'm just thinking, if the Dogs recruiting department are everything you're saying they are, then get it sorted this
They are.
off season
But
and straighten it up.
It's not an excuse not to win the whole thing this year. They're good enough. We saw that last night. I tell you what, no one's going to be saying this week. The Dogs list is no good. We'll be back
Bottom
after this
6.
with more Fireball.
Jason.
Correspondence from my man Josh Kay at Channel 7. Not only is it the horse's birthday, it's also Dean Cox's actual birthday today. So happy birthday. That's ironic, isn't it?
Is this the sort of stuff you get at 7?
Well, it's that isn't. Don't you find that we've just wished the horse a happy birthday?
He's not a horse.
I know, but it's
What's your
the
point?
replacement's actual birthday on August the 1st.
Oh, right. Okay,
Yeah.
I see the link. Yeah.
You're a bit slow. The agendas for Signet Power Up Dad this Father's Day with
wasn't that
AFL
good?
Power Banks from Signet. What's on your agenda? What's on your agenda? Don't get us in trouble here.
Well, I'm just asking.
Don't get us in trouble.
I am going to ask you what you made of the Damien Barrett error of process discussion this week. It's just a question.
Kingy, 5 minutes ago, I just said I am having a quiet week.
Yeah.
I'm not getting myself into trouble. I want to hang up
just a
the
question.
microphone today and not have to put out any spot fires. I'm going to ask you the question.
Normally you say this will be handled on the Sunday Footy Show, and today you've avoided it.
Oh, no, it will have to be handled on the Sunday Footy Show. Have to
Right.
be.
So we'll just wait till Sunday.
Oh, yeah, this will be.
Okay,
This
all
will,
right.
this will be.
We'll discuss it Monday.
No, I'm absolutely happy to say this will be first item off the top. They usually have, like, introduce the panel. They usually have some sort of humour off the top. I would
Yeah.
be shocked if this wasn't that item off the top.
Yeah.
And if not, then a bit later.
An error of process. It can happen. It can happen. I look forward to seeing what the findings.
How did the vision
It's not easy to get vision out of the system. Having done that before, not easy, not easy. So I look forward to seeing how that unfolds.
Okay.
You don't want to commit at all.
No,
Have you got anything for us?
No.
Where do you sit? So round 21.
Have you got anything for us?
Yeah, you put the handcuffs on there. Very rare that you've been in too many fights lately.
So many fights.
I know.
And even when
Even you're trying to avoid it.
yeah,
Right,
yeah.
All right, we'll discuss it Monday because we'll
get
get more information on Sunday and we'll discuss it Monday.
Yeah.
St Kilda, it's round 21. How nervous Nasiah now? I mean, I know he's playing great football and handling it beautifully and leaving it to his manager, but I'm starting to get nervous.
Well, I just keep saying, for the life of me, I can't see him leaving. And I thought that would have even... What I saw on the weekend was like, oh, okay, this guy's not going anywhere. Look at how invested he is. He's on Ross Lyon's shoulders, for goodness sake. Like, he's directing, he's instructing, he's leading. He looks so invested. So this is the best poker face I've ever seen. Well, probably since Dangerfield and the way he handled it at Adelaide.
And he left.
Going back a long time. Yeah, but he performed incredibly well right up until the prelim final and he left. So... Look, I think you're right to ask the question and right to be incredibly nervous. It would make for a really, not that we barrack for this, but we sort of do, a really interesting trade period because this would, I think, be the nastiest trade.
No, I'm not barracking for this one. I want the kid to stay.
Yeah, so do I. But
Yeah.
it would make for a very interesting trade period because the Saints would get really nasty with this and rightly so. But he's out of contract,
agree.
so.
And where do you sit with the Harley Reid
I
contracts
just
while we're
think it
discussing?
is so dangerous to give a deal like that to an unproven player. And the risks that are associated with that level of wealth when you probably haven't got the history of performance. So that's,
So you'd let him leave.
well, I wouldn't let him leave, but I'd be putting a cap on what I'm being prepared to pay him.
Well, give me your cap. What's your cap?
Well,
Don't just give me fleeting
Well, you're not-
details. What are you paying him?
right now he's a $700,000 player. You're going to stretch that out, but you'd be putting some protection mechanisms in the contract. I would
Look, what
imagine.
number? Give me the
Well, I
number.
don't know. I hadn't thought about it that much. I
Yeah.
just don't think you can pay.
Why haven't you? It's the biggest story in footy.
Well, Harley Reid. I get bemused by some of the numbers that have been floated around. I just think do what the best teams do and put a limit on what you pay your players. If
So
I'm-
1.5,
Yeah, that's extreme.
1.2,
Yeah, 1.2. 1.5 is extreme. for
and
me.
then someone comes in and offers him $2
yeah,
million.
well, then you go and get 3 top 10 picks for him.
You let him leave.
That's what you do. Yeah.
Okay.
You?
I don't mind that. If someone's going to give me a crazy deal, I'm taking the crazy deal. But I'm just not sure this is the draft that you want a crazy deal in.
No, but you can trade out and put them into next year.
Would
and
you
the year
rather
after.
have? Would you rather have 3 first rounders, late first rounders in this draft, or Harley Reid?
I don't follow the draft closely enough.
Well, you're going to
So
be
no.
back. They're going to get pushed back because of the academies.
Yeah,
and-
probably Harley Reid then. But you would be making sure that you've got access to next year's draft, and it might be the best chance that West Coast have got to properly rebuild. It's like these child actors when they become so famous early,
Macaulay Culkin.
and
you
then
call him.
their life goes off the rails because of the fame and the wealth, and it's very hard to stay on track. That would be my fear for Harley Reid. If you're going to pay him like this when he doesn't deserve it, and he's got that level of guaranteed wealth without having to perform for it, then it's a real risk of actually what you're going to get.
You're starting to talk about actors now because you're going to Logies. Is that what it is? Is there a link here? Have you been studying? I just saw on the.
Here we go.
No, the list of things that have been nominated for the weekend. Let me just find this. A little photo here. So the best sports coverage, and you'll clearly get up if the 2024 AFL Final Series for Channel 7 when you'll be part of that photo, which will be incredibly embarrassing. But in that is the 2024 State of Origin for the Nine Network.
Yep.
And the 2025 Australian Open from the Nine Network. Who do you think would be the spokesman there?
James Bracey or someone.
Would TJ get that one?
I'm sure TJ would be invited.
Yeah.
You don't think he'd be the official
just
recipient of the
asking,
award if they want it?
I hope so. He's done a great job in the past.